Hey everyone, welcome back to Blade and Brush. I'm Mike, your wet shaver, and it is Tobacco Tuesday, which means, Tobacco, the one and only German shave soap, owned by Müller and Wirtz, founded in 1959 in West Germany during the Cold War. So today I'm going to go ahead and shave with this. And this is a scent profile I discovered not long after I started wet shaving with a safety razor. It is, as far as I'm aware, the original tallow formula. I managed to get some pucks on eBay. But it's an incredibly good soap. Notes of tobacco flower, tobacco, vanilla. It's kind of a subtle masculine scent, the kind of masculine that evokes the sort of gentleman who's already paid his dues, doesn't have anything to prove to anyone. You walk in with your wife. Everyone else in the room is drenched in Axe body spray, and you're just chilling with your subtle tobacco scent. Now, the formulation has changed over the years, not just the shift from tallow to vegan. As I mentioned in my last video, the European Union passed regulations some years ago mandating that tallow-based cosmetics, including shave soaps, can no longer carry tallow in them because of the risk of mad cow disease. So in order to go ahead and meet the requirements, it's just so expensive that a lot of sellers decided, you know what, it's not even worth it, so they just got out of the business. So that is a tragic, but fortunately, some of our more popular and enduring sellers have found alternatives that really have gone over well with at least their core user base. At least over in Europe, users seem to be adjusting to the new tallow formula. I've not yet tried it, but over here, stateside, a lot of people really don't like vegetarian soaps, so that, the tallow fanatics. Like I said, I'm an all of the above kind of guy. I'll use both tallow and vegan products, but yeah. So as you can see, Tobacco has its shave soaps in this milk glass jar with a brown plastic lid. It's a very hard plastic. I suspect it might be Bakelite because of how durable it is. Bakelite was an early form of plastic invented in the 1930s, I believe. In fact, I have a couple of Bakelite handle razors. One is a Schick Injector from 1937, manufactured in Canada. And then the other is the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Anniversary Edition razor, which is Bakelite. So, that's a very good material if you're into Bakelite. So I went ahead and got the entire bath and body line. So I got the shave soap, aftershave cologne, aftershave balm, pre-shave oil, hair tonic actually. Let me go ahead and apply that right now before I forget. Yeah, hair tonic, which is almost out. I also got the hair cream for when I had long hair, so I could style it. Yeah, when I get into a scent that I like, I tend to go all in on it. Because I want to smell like it from head to toe. So I've got the bath soap, the body wash, the deodorant. Pretty much it works. The bag used to have shampoo, along with other products that were marketed here beginning in the 1980s. In fact, you know what? Let me go ahead and show you just what I'm talking about. Now, this is a box of the shampoo. Now, I've used it all up, but this is the tube that it came in. So this was brought over to the United States by the Jacqueline Cochran Incorporated in New York. It's a cosmetics company that got wind of tobacco in the 1980s and decided, you know what, let's bring the line over here. So you might find on the auction site, collectible travel gift sets like travel bath soap, deodorant. You can get the original Aftershave. And somebody had piffed me the actual original shave tube in a metal squeeze tube. It had one of the older formulations in it. And some of the older formulations, you either love it or hate it. This is my Mercure Progress, a long handle. This is a Mercure 510 with that Astra stainless. And the Mercure Progress is an adjustable razor. And not for the faint of heart either. Especially if you shave in the shower, because if you notice there's a complete lack of any real knurling on here. So you want to maintain a finger underneath the twist adjustable knob just to ensure some stability. And besides my Mercure 34, I've got the 37 slant, the 33, and the Mercure 42. And that's along with the mustache and eyebrow razor and the corn and bunion razor. So yeah, I really got into Mercure. Although I also have Parker razors as well. And a few from Phoenix. And then I've also got some off-brands like Viking, Weishi, although two of them are on the Vanderhagen relabel. In fact, the first safety razor I bought was the Vanderhagen relabeled Weishi 9306. It's a Chinese razor with a great reputation for being a nice mild daily shaver and also quite affordable, although with certain idiots' tariffs might not be so affordable anymore. But one of the selling points is that because it is affordable, you can easily replace it if it gets lost, stolen, broken, eaten, whatever. But you can tell how popular a razor is by how many companies want to resell it under their own label. And last I checked, there were something like 14 or 15 resellers, including Vanderhagen and Microtouch. Those are modeled on the old Gillette Super Speeds. And I've also got the Vikings blade, Emperor Augustus, which is another adjustable safety razor. And then I've got a Yaki double open comb. I've got a Gillette Fat Boy and a Gillette Super Speed. And also a Visomet W11. Which is a Polish-made adjustable razor, which is basically a clone of the Wilkinson sword razor. Let's see, when I first joined the Shaved In discussion forum, somebody piffed me a Gillette Tech Ball End Executive Edition. So basically gold-plated. And then I've got an off-label razor. I think I found it on eBay, but it's supposed to be an old Hungarian three-piece open comb. Because I'm part Hungarian. And I wanted to have both a Polish and Hungarian safety razor because I'm half Polish. I don't really use a Hungarian one because it's got some pretty severe plating issues. And frankly, I don't want to use it until I get it replated, but that's going to come later after I find a job, which I had a Signal chat today following up on a lead from a company with regards to a data entry position. So I was instructed to fill out a questionnaire as part of the preliminary process, and then the recruiter went ahead and explained to me the ins and outs of the job, what the benefits and pay are. So keeping my fingers crossed that I get hired. Well, it's a work from home position, which is great because that means I can work from anywhere. So if I'm hired, I can save up, I can get my own place. And also go back to the Philippines and marry my fiance. But that's only if I get hired. So naturally, I am keeping my fingers crossed. I'm definitely going to be following up, make sure that they know I'm eager for the position. Although I don't want to come across as desperate, that's the last thing you want to do. And the lather on tobacco never ceases to impress me. Yeah, I'm noticing a red spot in the lather, so that means I nicked myself somewhere. Yeah, right there. That's what I get for yapping instead of concentrating. Now this is a two-piece razor. Although, technically speaking, much like the Mercure 34, it does come in at least 4 parts, which is the cap, the handle and base plate, which are a single piece, and then you've got the adjustable portion, the knob, and then, actually no, I think this is more than 4 pieces. I think it's at least 5. Okay, let's get it under there. Now, I do like this razor a lot, but I have noticed that the head on this is a lot taller than on the Mercure 34 and on the other standard Mercure razors. So, you know, if you're trying to get up under the nose, you might want to go ahead and take the mustache and eyebrow razor and get under there if necessary. Yeah, right down here. So I've got this on a 1.5. I'm going to bump it up to 2. Just because I want to make sure I get as much as I can off the neck here. All right, I think that should about do it. But yeah, like I said, this is a Mercure 510, otherwise known as a Mercure Progress long handle. It's got this little plastic knob. It starts off white, kind of gets yellow over time. I personally like it. I like the off-white color. The company has another often copied razor called the Future. Very much a retro, high-tech, like something out of the 80s or 90s when I guess it was introduced. It looked futuristic. I considered getting it, but aesthetically it wasn't really my style. I found the Progress much more visually appealing. Yeah, from what I understand, the new Tabak formula works better with synthetic bristles. And synthetics really have come a long way since they were first introduced. And I suspect that the new vegetable formulation was designed specifically for use with synthetic brushes. Because another trend that's been happening a lot with companies outside the United States is to shift from natural bristles to synthetic. I think part of it is, again, due to European Union regulations, but also just a general trend against using animal hair brushes anyway, except maybe for horsehair. Because in order to harvest bristles from badger or boar, you have to kill the animal, and that unfortunately invites all sort of psychopathology developing. In fact, there's actually a study that was conducted some years ago, and it showed that people who work in slaughterhouses end up becoming desensitized, which is a trauma response to killing an animal. But it also found that a lot of people develop sociopathic tendencies, tendency towards cruel and unusual treatment of the animals, really as a kind of a psychological coping mechanism, which unfortunately has a lot of consequences down the line, but I won't get into that here. But at any rate, that's why a lot of people are moving to synthetic brushes, and I can't say I blame them. Like I said, I'm an all of the above guy. I've got badger and boar, but I also maintain horsehair, which you can harvest bristles from that just by grooming the animal. But then there's also, the synthetics that I use as well. So anyway, I've got the Tabac 10.1 ounce aftershave splash. Oh man, that's rather invigorating. Yeah, got that same brown plastic cap. In fact, actually, this is big enough that when it runs out, I'm just going to remove the stopper and use it as a vase. Just because, it's a nice collectible milk glass jar, so why not? And of course, the Tabac underarm deodorant stick. The company also produces a roll-on as well as a spray. But I found the spray deodorants, the spray mechanism is usually kind of messed up in some way. I got some years ago as a present to myself the Saponifico I can't remember, but it was a 70th anniversary collection, so I gotten that with my tax refund at the time. And I got the spray-on deodorant that came in the scent, but the spray mechanism is all messed up, so I can't even really use it, which is a shame because that stuff smells wonderful. All right, so that's the deodorant on me. And now we've got the post-shave balm, which, much like Nivea, does not have really any greasy residue. Alrighty then, that is pretty much it. So once again, Tabac, German, Möhrenwurz, since 1959. If you have any tallow pucks remaining, I would highly recommend if you decide to get this, get the collectible milk glass jar. That way you've got a place to store your soap in between uses. And also, when you go to replace it, you don't need to have a whole new jar. You just put your replacement puck in here, and that's it. So I would highly recommend that every wet shaver keep a jar of this at hand. Even if you don't like it, you still end up with a collectible jar that you can put other soap pucks into. And, you've got the experience of trying something that really kind of redefines, masculinity in positive ways, because you don't always have to prove everything to prove you're a man. You just have to be confident and, just kind of own your own manhood. So enough of my rambling. I'm going to go ahead and get going. This is Mike for Blade and Brush, signing off.